Lesson here at LearnPianoLive.com. This is a beginner's lesson, so the assumption is you know nothing about piano. You don't know the letters, you don't know how to read music, you don't know any chords. If that's you, you're in the right place. We're starting at the very, very, very basics. So really the keys to this lesson is to ask a whole lot of questions. This is you and me, so you got to ask whatever questions you have so that I, as your teacher, can help you out and know what you need. Now, if you are an absolute beginner, you might want to check out the Absolute Beginner's Lesson Pack in the video store, because that'll kind of walk you through some of the very, 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 very basics that most beginning piano students have. It's free. Just go check it out in the video store. And there's a couple other things too that I want to talk to you about before this countdown clock hits 0. All right, first and most important, ask a lot of questions. The way that you're going to do that is there's a couple different ways. You can jump in the chat room and talk with the other students who are logged in at the same time. I'll be watching the chat room too. You can ask your questions there. Or if it's a question that's just for me, a question about the lesson, especially if you know it's one that's going to fit best at the question and answer time at the end, then you can just put your name and your question in the box below this video, click submit, and then I will get that. Now, if you're already in the archives, if you're watching this not live, but you're watching this in the archives, then make sure at the end of the lesson you click on the survey button. You don't have to fill out the entire survey. If you want to, I mean, I'd love your feedback, but really the best part of that is that you can put your question in there, and then when you click submit, then I will get all of your questions. I'll make sure that you get them answered, whether you're in the archives or you're live. Right next to this video, there should be a PDF button and an MP3 button. Now, you don't really need those till after the lesson because I'm going to be showing you on screen the PDF and showing you how to use it. And I'll play the MP3 during the lesson too, so you know at the end of the lesson how you're going to use that. Some people, though, like to print out the PDF ahead of time, so as I'm making notes on my version, they can make the same notes on their version, but works either way. All right, this is perhaps the most important part. You need to leave the lesson when you feel like you're sufficiently challenged. So, I'm teaching these lessons, 12 to 15 lessons a month. Normally in traditional lessons, you're getting like a lesson every other week or so. So this is just way too much for you to take in. So, the goal is for you to get some little nugget of something that you can really practice on, really work on. Once you feel like you have that, then you really don't need anything else from me. Go practice. That's where this stuff is really going to happen. You're not going to get through this lesson and be able to play something really well. You're going to get through this lesson and have the information that you need to practice more effectively. That's really the goal here. So don't feel bad about taking off early. If you feel like halfway through the lesson you got as much as you can take in at that time, then go practice that thing, and then come back whenever you've got that thing down, or you're bored with it, or you just want to check out the next topic. Don't forget also that you've got the archives too. So if you want to see one little thing, just repeat it over and over and over. Just give me, hopefully within 24 hours after the lesson, this thing will be up in the archives, so you can just go back and watch it over and over and over and over and just get that little segment down. So today's lesson has a very specific goal. Out of the 8 sectors of musicianship, the one that we're focused on today is theory. So that's all about how music is put together. It's not as much about playing the music as it is understanding the music. So for some people, this is their favorite part. For some people, this is their least favorite part. Very few people have a neutral perspective on theory. But however you feel about it, it's really, really important. So, you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. All right, welcome back. Just to get some housekeeping issues out of the way first, this is our first week back, so your lessons that you've submitted are being reviewed. I've reviewed, I think, 23 of them so far, and 30-something to go still. So anyway, if you've been waiting since, I guess, last week, I wasn't reviewing any of the videos, but back on this week, just wait, we'll get caught back up, and then we'll be on a normal schedule, hopefully all the way up until, I think, Easter's the next day we take off. So anyway, we should be set very, very soon, but if you've been waiting, they are on their way. All right, so let's jump into this PDF here. I'm just going to play through what this thing right here, page 1, will get you so that you can get an idea of where we're going with this. This is all songwriting stuff. So this is about how songs get written and how you can start to identify the different parts of the song so that when you go to write your own songs, when you do, because you will, then you'll be able to hopefully compose something that sounds like something that someone would want to listen to, at least yourself. So anyway, this is just a fill-in-the-blank chart that I don't suggest using long-term, but I made it for one of my kid students, and then I found a bunch of us adult students that also wanted to use it and found it very helpful in understanding how things get put together. So let me just go through this here real quick. We're going to be in the key of C, which means that C is going to be the number 1. So that'll be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll be back to 1 again because we're on a C, in the key of C. When we play the 1, we're actually going to play every other note starting on the 1. So we're going to play that right there. That's the 1, and then every other note. So we're going to play that one, that one, that one as the 1 chord. If we play the 4 chord, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then play every other note starting on that. So that right there would be the 4 chord. Now finding these chords and playing them is the easy part. Transitioning between them is the difficult part. So you might be able to write a totally awesome song by the end of this lesson, but actually being able to play that song, smoothly transitioning those chords, that's a whole other deal. So anyway, if you find that difficult, you're like, oh yeah, I can play the 1 chord, cool, now I'm going to be able to play my song. Those are not the same thing. They feel like it in your brain, but they don't feel like it in your muscles. So that's the 1 chord, that's the 4 chord. The 5 chord would be right there, so starting on the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the 6 right there, would that'd be our 6 chord, every other note starting on the 6 of the key of C, because we're going to be playing this in the key of C, meaning that C is 1. Hopefully that made some sense. And then that's all the chords that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and write a minor song here. So since we're writing a minor song, we're going to start on the 6. Now when I play it, I'm going to also include the number in the left hand. So if I'm playing a 6 chord right here, I'm also going to just play the number 6 down here, not the whole entire chord, but just like that. So we're going to start on a 6, and then I'm just going to randomly pick these numbers. I have not thought this out ahead of time. I'm going to pick that one, and then that one, and then that one. All right, so we've got a 6 and a 4 and a 1 and a 5. We're not playing the other chords there. So I just randomly selected some right there. This is a minor song, so down here when I have another choice, I'm going to pick the 6, not the 1. So far the chords I'm playing are 6 and then 4 and then 1 and then 5. And then I'm going to play 6 and then, I don't know, 5. Let's try to keep this different. 1 and then 4. There we go. That is everything I think. Yes, that is everything I need to write the song. Now I just have to follow the arrows. So the first arrow is this bad boy right here, going all the way down to here. So whatever I wrote up here at the top, I'm just going to bring those chords down here and play a 6 and then a 4 and then a 1 and then a 5, just like I did on the first line, because this arrow over here is telling me to bring those chords down. Then I'm going to bring these chords, follow these arrows here, bring those chords down here, 6, 4, 1, and then 5. I'm going to end the song on a 6, actually. Whatever you start the song on, you should also end the song on down there at the bottom. So I'm going to play a 6 at the very, very end of the song. And then right here, I've got a couple more arrows where I just haven't brought chords down. So that's a 6, that's a 5, that's a 1, and then that's it. That's the whole entire thing. So now let me play this song for you the way that it is. The play-along track that you have follows this format perfectly. So as long as you just count 1, 2, 3, 4 at the beginning, then you should be able to jump in and play this. And I'm going to start out very, very simple, playing just the 6 chord like that, but then I might switch it up later on and play like a 6 chord up there, or play some combination of them later on. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here, but I'll try to call out the chords as I go. And on our mark, get set. You probably just want to watch this one this time through so you can get an idea of how you're going to do this in the future. But here we go. This will be our intro. 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, and then 5. Here we go. Here's the verse part. It's going to start on a 6, 5,
followed it perfectly. I think I play an extra chorus. Oh, I do! I put a bridge in there. Stinker. Okay, so it doesn't follow that format perfectly. It follows this format perfectly here on the next page. Because this was a thing that I threw in at the end. Thought they matched up. They don't. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is, hang on just a second. 5, please be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, it's not. Nope, so it does not follow that perfectly. But you could play along with it like I just did, and then you're just going to end your song early. So anyway, that's the short make up your own version of a song right there. And if that seemed challenging, then that is what you should work on, just that much alone, any part of that. But anyway, moving on to this. This is your actual play along, because today we're talking about song forms and, like I said, recognizing the different sections. So this stuff right here, after maybe you write your own first song ever, like we just did together, then go over to here, and this section over here this does follow the track. I'm sure of it. I'll play it for you if you want. That's your intro right there. That's that whole section right there. This right here is going to be your verse. Now I did not write in the full names because I wanted to keep this as short as possible because you're going to want to write in your own stuff here. But this is going to be your chorus. And then there's going to be your bridge. Hang on, I'll tell you what all that means in just a second. And then there's going to be your chorus. And then we should have the ending right there. There we go. And that's where your track is going to end, is right there at the end. So that is what I am recommending you try after you try writing your own song on that first page. You can just get an idea of, hey, I can pick random chords and it still sounds like a thing. Like that could be a Jason Mraz or a Katy Perry or a something else song. Even Erling Berlin is going to follow somewhat the same format. Anyway, we've got intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Let's talk about what all that means. So these are the different chunks of a song. Now, almost every song that you'll find out there, in every popular, but I don't mean that in the pop sense. I mean as in literally popular, anything that a large number of people enjoy. Any of that type of music is going to follow some of these sections here. So the first thing is the introduction. So that is what we did in the first song that we wrote. This whole thing right here was the intro or the introduction. So that's just playing some music before like the words start or the main melody starts, or it's just kind of a warm-up to the song. Then we have the verse part, which is usually going to be a little bit lower key, a little bit, not lower key like a different key, like a different set of notes, but lower energy. And it's going to include the lyrics are usually going to include something that gets resolved in the chorus. So some kind of problem. If you want to think of this like a story format, it is the crisis that needs to be resolved later. So anyway, that's going to be your verse. And then some songs include a pre-chorus. I have not included it in any of your stuff here. It is basically the part that builds up to the chorus. If you ever heard a song where it felt like it was building and building and building and building and finally hit the part that you sing over and over and over, that was the pre-chorus, because the chorus is, or the refrain, is the part of the song that you're going to sing over and over and over and over. So in some cases they'll have a section that they sing or play before they get to the main part of it. The part that comes before it. And you'll see this a lot in if you haven't been here before, when we do the covers every other week, that a lot of the songs will have a pre-chorus to them. It doesn't really fit into the verse because it has a different feel to it, but it kind of builds up and helps the chorus be more climactic when we get there. So the chorus is going to be the part that everybody knows and sings along with. That's going to be the part that shows up the most frequently as well. So usually you'll have more choruses than anything else in the song, more choruses than verses, more choruses than bridges or any of these other things. A bridge is just a little tiny break from the song where it's almost like its own little mini song that you put in there just to break up what's going on. And honestly, it's a way to extend the length of the song so that if you just had verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, 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 verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, that'd be like an 8-minute song, and no one would want to hear it after the first 2 minutes or so. But if you go 2 or 3 minutes of verse, chorus, whatever, and then you put a bridge in there, that's kind of a little mini song that gives everybody a little different flavor, so you can come back with some more choruses at the end, maybe even another verse at the end, and it just extends the song by putting a little extra flavor in there. The instrumental solo is usually actually going to be, I almost didn't put this in here because it's usually going to be either the chorus chords or the verse chords. It's not going to be the introduction chords unless the intro is the verse of the chorus. So usually it's just going to be something that's stolen from the verse or the chorus, but the singer doesn't sing. Instead, you have electric guitar or piano or something over top of it. And then this thing right here, a lot of websites that talk about songwriting and stuff talk about the ad-lib section. It doesn't really exist in most pre-recorded or pre-planned music. So never when you see like the Super Bowl halftime or any concert, really, a professional concert, any of that stuff is not going to have an ad-lib section. Where you're going to see that is at live events. So if you're playing, it might be that they say, after the second verse, then we're going to invite up so-and-so to sing a section, and then you just have to like ad-lib. You have to make up stuff in the middle there, usually stealing chords from hopefully the same key, stealing chords from the verse or the chorus so that you can just wait basically for them to come back in. So that's kind of a live event specific section, but everybody was including it in their instructions. So sure, yeah, there might be an ad-lib section in there. And then the ending is going to be a lot of times it's going to be it says outro too, which is what I call it on all my stuff, but I always feel weird saying that because it's like intro and outro, but intro is short for introduction and outro is short for nothing. So anyway, this is usually going to be the same chords as the intro, and if it's not the same chords as the intro, then it might be just repeating the last line of the chorus or whatever it was you just played. So a lot of times those chords get stolen from other sections. So if we take out the live event ad-lib thing, we take out the instrumental solo because it is the same as the verse of the chorus in most cases. And honestly, the intro is usually stolen from the verse or the chorus in almost all cases. In fact, you can see on our page, the intro is literally the first line of the chorus because we just took all those chords and we copied them down to here. So it's literally the first line of the chorus is the intro in the example that I gave you. So we cross out intro because those aren't different chords. All we really have left, and we'll cross out this because that's the same as the intro in most cases, or the same as the last line of the chorus of the verse. All we really have is the verse, the chorus, maybe a bridge, and then maybe a pre-chorus. So there's really only going to be 4 total sections that you're going to need to write, and everything else is just a variation on those things. So once we have that, then we can start labeling these sections. For example, the verse we could call like A. And then the chorus we could call B, and the bridge we could call like C or something, and the pre-chorus, and maybe we could call that like a D, or we could just label each of these sections so that we can start doing this stuff, which is what you're going to see in a lot of college-level theory courses, which is the song format listed in letters. So a really common song format is going to be AABA. It's going to be a lot of jazz standards, and a lot of pop tunes are going to be AABA. So there's 2 different ways to use this. One is the structure of the whole entire song. So an example of that would be like the song Yesterday. Yesterday sounds like this. Here's your intro. It's just 1 chord. Yesterday, and right here's our A section. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though this whole thing is the A section. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Now it feels like something is about to happen there, and it is about to happen. This is going to be the second A section. So we just had A, and now we're about to have A. Here we go. So it's the exact same notes, same chords, The words have changed a little bit, but everything else is the same.
There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly.
So that was all the same. Now it feels like something we need to not repeat that again. Here comes the B section, something a little bit different. So
Why she
different chords, different melody, different words.
I said something wrong. Now I long for you.
And what's coming up is the same thing that we had at the beginning twice in a row. This is the same section we had.
Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
And then if you want to, you could repeat the song, but that was A, and then A, and then B, and then A, and hopefully you felt how the B section was significantly different from the A that repeated with different words, and then came back again at the end. Another example of this is going to be Over the Rainbow. So this one here is going to be, this is our A section. So that was all A. Here comes A again. Now for this A, we're going to have what? B section. Coming up. Right here. This is significantly different than the two sections that she just sang a second ago. And then here comes the A section again. So there you go, and then you could sing the whole entire thing again if you wanted to, but that was A, and then B, something drastically different than, that part totally different from the other section, and then we go back into the A section again. So that is a structure example of AABA, but then you can also use these labeling things once you get really familiar with all the different sections. You can use them just as phrases instead of entire sections. So the example that I gave you was this thing right here, Deck the Halls. We have A, which is Deck the Halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. And then you do the exact same thing again, of course different words, for our second A. That's the first one, that's the A. And then that's the second A. Now, we got to do something entirely different. The B section. And then we come back into the exact same thing that we did twice before. Now, this one is a little bit different because instead of, it goes. And that's where we get primes from. So up here, we talk about primes. So we can use an A prime. So Deck the Halls would be a good example of A, B, A prime. It's like A, but there's a slight change to it because of where it's used or whatever to make it the conclusion of it feel more conclusion-y. So anyway, you can use primes. You can then play that one again, but if you're writing your own song, but change it up even more different than the first one. So example on Deck the Halls, this is not going to sound right because this is not Deck the Halls, but if I was writing Deck the Halls and I want an A double prime, we could have like, something like that. So it's not the first one, it's not the second one, but it's another one. It's like A, but we had a little different twist at the end. So anyway, that's all of your primes. And then short forms are, there's as many different combinations of this stuff as you could possibly imagine. So you could play an ABA, where you play an A section and then something entirely different, and then come back and just hit the beginning part again at the end. ABC, where it's 3 entirely different unique sections. You have an A, B, A, A, C, B, B. Excuse me, sorry. So this is probably the most common like pop song format. So if we think of A as a verse and B as a chorus and C as a bridge, that would be verse, chorus, verse, verse, bridge, chorus, chorus. So anyway, you can, like I said, you can make up as many examples of this as you want. But the big thing here, the big takeaway is that you're thinking about songs in terms of, instead of like one big long song and, oh, that flowed really well, what made it flow really well? Did they come back to the chorus at the end? Did they repeat the chorus 2 times in a row? Did they change keys before they hit the chorus again? What all was it that went into those different elements that made it appealing to you or not appealing to you? So, for example, an ABC song is a lot harder to make appealing to a large audience because it doesn't have any recurring themes in it. So it's not like you can hear the beginning of the song and by the end of the song, you're singing along. Songs that usually start with the chorus and then go verse, chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus, for example. It's got a lot of choruses in it, so by the time you're hearing it at the end of the song, you already know it, you can already sing along. It feels like a catchy song, not because it's more catchy, but because you've heard 30,000 choruses. And so you have memorized it because they forced you to memorize it. Versus an ABC, which by the time you get to C, like, I can't follow any of this. I don't know what's going on here. So anyway, then you can come up with your own examples here and then try some of your own examples along with the play-along track. Let's go back to that here real quick. So this is what I'm recommending you try after you do that first one, that page 1 here, where you just basically are filling in all the blanks. You're not using any creativity. It's all just random chance. Fill in the blanks, learn the chords, play it back for yourself. Then here you can get a little more creative in using different chord numbers and stuff as well, where you make up a 4-bar intro here, and then an 8-bar verse, and then an 8-bar chorus. Do something entirely different for a bridge, and then play your chorus again at the end. So that would be like intro, and then we'd go A, B, C, A would be A, B, C, B. There we go, if the chorus is B. So this is A, B, C, B would be the format of this song here with, of course, an intro at the beginning. So anyway, you try that, and that would sound something like, here we go. Now with the track, here's my intro. 4, 2, 3, 4. Here's my verse. one timed out right because that was using this format here, which is a set of 4 and then a set of 4 and then a set of 8 and then a set of 8 and then a set of 4 and then a set of 8 for a grand total of, I promised to do math here, 24 plus 8 is 32 bar form, and this over here is less than that, 8, 16, 20. So this is a 20 bar form here, and this over here is a 32 bar form. So anyway, did I do that right? I feel like I didn't do that right. 32. Yeah, 32. So anyway, you will want to make sure that you try this out a whole lot of times. And then, like I said, hopefully when you're listening to other songs, you start to notice what the different sections are. And then you'll start noticing that certain patterns appear more than other patterns. For example, like the chorus thing that I told you about. A lot of like summer hits that like are like really popular songs that everybody seems to be singing are just have a lot of repeating choruses because they want to catch you that first time that you hear it. They want you to be sing along by the end of the song. So it's going to be something simple usually, and maybe upbeat if it's going to be a summer song, and then you're either going to repeat that part over and over and over. So by the end of the song, you feel like, yeah, I've heard this song like 4 or 5 or 6 times. You only actually heard it once. So let's do our feature of the day. Then we'll wrap up, and this has been a long lesson. Thank you for sticking with it, and let me know in the chat whatever your questions are. Here we go. So lick of the day is going to be for the ending of a song. Whenever you have a 1 chord at the end, you can play a 4 chord. There we go. This is back to the really basic stuff. Whenever we have the end of a song, usually we're going to end it on a 1 chord. Before you play the 1 chord, you can play the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. But make that middle note down a half step, flat that middle note. So you can play that one, and then go to the 1 chord at the end. So that would take something that was like this for the ending. 2, 1, 4, 5, 1. So if that was the end of the song, all we do is insert our little lick of the day, minor 4, which is this bad boy right here, the 4 chord with the lower middle note, and then 1, and that would sound like this. And then instead of 1 here, just adds a little bit of drama to the end of your song. That's a minor 4 to a 1, and let's do our wrap up. Here we go. We've done a lot of stuff. We talked about this, which is kind of the beginner's guide to making your own song. Just picking numbers randomly from the ones that I've given you, copying them where appropriate, and then just working on, like we said, the changes, the most difficult part. This is a wide open format thing for you to start building your own song. I've suggested where the intro and verse and chorus and bridge should go, but of course you can use that 32 bars of drums to play whatever you want. And of course we'll be talking more about time signature changes and tempo changes and all that stuff in future lessons. So you can use this one though as a basic format to start writing some of your own music, taking into consideration all the different formats, which we have listed here. We talked about all the different sections and how a lot of these sections are just versions of the same thing. So all this stuff here is just really verse, chorus, and bridge. Really 3 sections is definitely the most common thing to have, and then we use them in different ways. For example, the instrumental solo or the introduction or the outro, those are all just reiterations of either the verse or the chorus or the bridge to get around in the song and to make our different sections. And a lot of times those different iterations of it are going to be primes. So we talked about A prime or A double prime or B triple prime or whatever, quadruple prime. So you can take a section, repeat it, but change maybe the ending of it a little bit to make it slightly different and feel like there's more variation in the song than there actually is. We talked about structure and we talked about phrases for labeling your sections, and then you're supposed to come up with your own form ideas and try them out and see how they work if you can make it that far in the lesson. But we have covered a ton of stuff and taken a long time to get there. So for those of you still sticking around, let's get to your questions and see what we have. There we go. What do I do with the first page? this thing right here, if you came in late to the lesson, you'll probably want to, go back and check that out. Because, there's without going into all of it again, you're supposed to follow the directions on the page to write your own song for the first time. Or if you didn't show up late and it's not clear what to do with the first page, then two things. One, ignore it because it's not really that significant. Or two, let me know and we can maybe go through that together and maybe we'll do a separate lesson just on that page. If you've been here for a lot of the past lessons, this form right here, this exact form, we've talked about several times before in other lessons. So I'm hoping that you were just late to the lesson. You can catch the beginning of that in the archives. So I'm mostly not going to answer that question. But let me know if that's a mistake. Who came up with the labeling names? Not I. I don't know if you're talking about the song form thing here or if you're talking about the ABC thing. But I think they just kind of evolved. A verse. A verse is probably stolen from like literature because you have like poetry and stuff. I don't know about maybe a refrain. I don't know. I know that they have the word refrain in the... Yeah, a refrain is just something you say over and over again. I think they have just kind of developed. I don't think anyone sat down and wrote this all out. But if I'm wrong and you know otherwise, then let me know. What is the point of the ABC? Isn't that just a longer A? The ABC... It's to split up. So the ABC here is just to split up the. Let me know if I'm not answering this correctly. The ABC here is just to split up the different sections so that you can put a label on the chunk that you're hearing. Because in your ear, it's going to feel like, oh, here's something new about to happen, and you can feel that anticipation, and then they either resolve that anticipation for you by going to a new section, or they extend that section, and they continue to amp up your anticipation for something significant to happen in the music. So that's what that is for, is just to label those chunks. But if you mean this thing right here, that does end up feeling like one long A section. So yeah, that's just one big long song. It's A that just keeps on going and doesn't quit. But when you hear an ABC song, it will feel like, oh, they're changing it up here. Ready, and okay, this is new, cool. But then it doesn't. It's not. They don't ever go back to the other thing. So it feels just like an AABA, only it goes like AB. Oh, we're not repeating anything. Okay, this is new. Okay, cool. What? And here we go. Here's something new. And then they go on to D. And then, okay, but we're about to hit the chorus, ready, and, oh, that's the section E. So it just keeps on going, and they build that anticipation, but they never come back to repeat any of the other. But yes, it does seem, theoretically, like an ABC would just be an A, with no B or C or anything like that. But anyway, I don't know. Let me know if I didn't answer that correctly. But those are the only two ways I could understand that question. And it doesn't look like we have any more clarification on any questions or any more questions for that matter. So that means that tomorrow we'll get back into some other timing stuff and check out the schedule for the upcoming lessons. Happy New Year to all of you. And you know I love you. Until next time, good luck and have fun.